Satnam, welcome. So today's focus for this Releasing Negative Habits class is anger, and in particular what's called frozen anger. And it's that anger that we don't know how to express, or it comes out in a explosive way that ends up hurting ourselves. It's like that ricochet back on ourselves, and then we don't know what to do with that energy. I remember when I was a little girl, when I would get mad, I would kick something hard, which just resulted in pain in my own foot, and then I would get madder about that. Like I didn't have a way to release that anger without it hurting myself. So the teachings about frozen anger, I'll just read a little bit. It says, many times hidden anger manifests due to childhood dramas. We hold images, shadows, or memories that blame our parents or others from the past. Being angry about the past holds us in reaction, and we play the blame game. We react to our present environment because we can't both be in our past and consciously live in the present. When our anger has not been released, our subconscious memory can overpower our consciousness, and we become frozen in the emotions of the past. And when we're frozen, when we're not in awareness, then we get into behavior that is unconscious, that's, hurting ourselves. We're not even really aware of it, and then that turns into a physical addiction, and then we're caught in that pattern. So the work we're going to do today is a little bit getting aware of that, any frozen anger that you might have. And then we'll do several things about it. We're going to do some warm-ups, and then we'll do a pranayama breathwork exercise called Burn Inner Anger. So this is a powerful pranayama. You'll start to feel a lot of energy, and we won't be in it for a long time, but it's a chance to kind of start burning that frozen inner anger. And then we'll do the jumping hata aerobic Curia, which really gets the heart rate up and the circulation going and the glands activated. So really good exercise to actually do every day. And we'll do a set, a Kundalini yoga set called Self-Control Through Developed Sensitivity. And let me just read a little bit about that. Actually, I'll read it when we get to it. And then we'll take a deep rest with the gong, and we'll finish with this beautiful meditation called Forgiveness Meditation. And this is out of the book Meditations for Addictive Behavior, put out by Mukta Karkalsa, and her program called Super Health. So in this forgiveness meditation, we'll get a chance to forgive ourselves, forgive other people, and then just connect with our divinity, our spirit, our infinite quality. So let's come sitting straight with the eyes closed and take some nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth with the eyes closed. On the exhale, let the shoulders come down away from the ears and just releasing tension, tightness, holding, stress, anxiety that might be gathered here at the shoulders or the upper chest or the upper back. Just coming into an awareness of your physical experience, your skin, your breath, your muscles. And feeling the weight of gravity connecting you to the earth. And just settling into the body and the breath. And from here, as the breath continues to be long and slow and deep, just go on an inner exploration of your own anger, how you express or don't express your anger. It can be anger from a few minutes ago, it could be anger from your childhood, anger from the past. Just noticing if you're carrying stuck, blaming, resentful, frozen anger. It might not even be anger from your own personal lifetime. Maybe it's anger at society, or some historical event. Just becoming aware, not needing to do anything about it in this moment. And take a deep, deep inhale. Hold the breath for a moment. Come back to the sensations of the body and the breath. And then exhale and bring the hands in front of the heart center and begin rubbing the palms together. And we'll tune in with the Adi mantra, Om Namo Guru Dev Namo, calling upon our own wisdom, our own awareness beyond our past, beyond blame, beyond anger, our deeper consciousness and awareness. We'll chant it 3 times together. Bring the thumbs to the heart, the elbows wide, the shoulders relaxed. Inhale deeply and exhale. And inhale to tune in. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. And inhale deeply. Hold the breath, lift up the heart, tuck the chin so the back of the neck feels long. Feel the energy rising up the spine, and then exhale. And inhale again, fill up the belly, fill up the lungs all the way to the top, and lock the breath in, this time squeezing the pelvic floor and the tailbone, activating the root lock. Feel the spine stretching up towards the sky, and then exhale. And last time, inhale as deeply as you can. Hold the breath, lift the heart, squeeze the pelvic floor, the tailbone, tuck the chin, back of the neck long, let the energy rise all the way to the crown. And then exhale. Good. And let's bring the hands to the knees and we'll begin some Sufi grind. So you'll inhale, bring the heart forward, and then as you come back, squeezing the belly to the spine on the exhale, and inhale forward. So nice big circles with the body, deep breaths. The eyes are closed, just go within and feel the movement in the body. emotions in our solar plexus area, just underneath the rib cage. So as you breathe, see if you can begin to soften that area, waking it up, warming it up. Inhale to center, tuck the chin, eyes closed, gazing through the center of the forehead, and then exhale. And bring the hands towards the shins, grab onto the shins somewhere, and we'll begin a spinal flex, inhaling forward, exhaling back, inhaling forward, exhaling back. Finding as much movement as you can in your spine. You can go slow or you can go fast. Keeping the chin fairly level with the floor. Use the elbows and the shoulders to increase the range of motion of your spine, arching and flexing. Again, paying special attention to that solar plexus area, especially on the inhale, filling it up. It gently, letting the energy that might be stuck there begin to flow. Squeeze the pelvic floor and the tailbone, the low spine. And then exhale and let the breath come all the way out. At the end of the exhale, squeeze the pelvic floor and the tailbone, the low belly, squeezing that lower triad of chakras. Squeeze and inhale again. Hold the breath at the top and let the energy flow. And exhale. Let's bring the soles of the feet together, stretching out the inner thighs. Bring the heels in towards the body as comfortably and close as you can. The knees rest towards the floor. Just feel that stretch for a few breaths, breathing into the low belly. And then begin some neck rolls. So start in whatever direction you want to. Go gentle on the neck, eyes closed, breathing deeply. Express ourselves, our truth, our anger. Just releasing any stuck energy here at the throat and the neck, the shoulders, the upper chest, the upper back. And inhale to center, tuck the chin, back of the neck long, squeeze the pelvic floor and the tailbone, activating root lock. Feel the energy rising up the spine to the crown of the head, and then exhale, release. And we'll bring the legs wide and stretch out the legs. So legs wide, the backs of the knees are pressing in towards the floor. You'll inhale straight up, fingertips up towards the sky, and then as you come over to one side, exhale. And then inhale back up to center and exhale over to the other side. Keeping the heart lifted the whole time. If you can reach the toes, then give the big toenail a squeeze. If you can't reach, that's okay. Allow the whole body to stretch, the arms, the legs, and the spine with deep breaths. Let yourself move freely, breathe freely, stretch freely. Reaching the fingers up to the sky, squeeze the pelvic floor and the tailbone, the low spine, reach a little bit higher, and then exhale, fold forward, grab onto the big toes if you can reach them, and just stretch the heart towards the floor. And then begin moving, inhaling, straightening the spine, exhaling, bring the heart towards the floor. Inhale up, exhale down, stretching a little bit further, arms, legs, and spine. Pent-up energy in the pelvis are actually two really important things to do to help our mental health. And doing them every day is key to that. Just start where you are, do your best. Whatever you're doing, you're going to get a stretch. Last 30 seconds, breathe deeply. Squeeze the pelvic floor and the tailbone, and then exhale, fold forward, bring the heart as close towards the floor as you can, and just take a few deep breaths here and just stretch, breathing into the backs of the lungs, stretching the spine between the shoulder blades. Inhale, come up, and let's come onto the back and we'll work the navel center a little bit. So lying on your back, you can put your hands under your hips if you want to support your low back. We'll begin leg lift. So you'll inhale both legs up towards the sky and then exhale both legs down. If that's too intense on your low back, you could do one leg at a time. Deep breaths, inhaling up, exhaling down. See if you can squeeze the belly back to the spine the whole time. So you're using your deep core abdominal muscles and not your low back. Try to keep your face and your shoulders and your arms relaxed. It's just the core and the legs working. squeezing the belly in towards the spine the whole time. And inhale the legs up. And exhale, release the knees down into the chest and rock side to side on your low back. Yogi Bhajan said that the navel center, that area we were just working on, is where anger comes from. The heart, the blood, the circulation, the diaphragm, and our whole life depends on this navel center. It's the center of heat. It is the furnace of our bodies. Either the heat can cook for us or it can burn down our house. That anger, we can either use it to protect ourselves or others in an appropriate way, or we can turn it in upon ourselves and stuff it, or we express it in aggressiveness, painful ways of expressing anger. Good. You can bring the legs down and just take a few deep breaths into the belly, into that navel center, that whole area from the diaphragm down to a few inches below the belly button. And just breathe into that part. And allowing yourself to just come back to that question of how do you express anger, or how do you not express anger? And beyond that, noticing how those habits have affected your life. Okay, so come rolling over onto one side and lift yourself up back to sitting. And we'll begin this pranayama exercise to burn inner anger. So the posture is fairly simple. You're going to bring your left hand onto your heart center. And your right hand is going to come into this mudra, just the index finger and the middle finger, which are your Jupiter and Saturn fingers together, and then it's going to come up about 60 degrees. The thumb is pressing down the rest of the fingers gently. So the shoulders are relaxed, the body doesn't really have tension, just keep that arm floating up there. And here's the main part. So you're going to be breathing in and out through the mouth, and it's a bit of a longer breath, so about 2 seconds on the inhale and 2 seconds on the exhale, but it's powerful. So it'll look something like this. And keep going. If you need to stop and take a break, see if you can keep the posture and just take a break on the breath. Only if you need to. That right elbow is straight and locked. The spine is straight. The chin is tucked in a little bit. Heart is lifted. It's a very noble posture. Just let this breath begin to do its work of burning inner anger. Allowing any emotions to come up, any memories. Invite them and welcome them, so they can be released. Good. Inhale deeply and bring both arms stretching up overhead. Stretch as far as you can. Stretch the discs between your vertebrae. Stretch, stretch, stretch. When you need to exhale, let it come through the mouth. Powerful exhale. And then twice more. We'll inhale and stretch the spine, stretch the fingertips, stretch the discs between the vertebrae and through the mouth. Powerful exhale. And one more time. Inhale, stretch up, stretch, 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 stretch. Hold the breath. And through the mouth, let it go. Release the arms down and take a few deep breaths. Breathing into the diaphragm, the belly, and up into the lungs. Okay. Bring the legs out in front of you and shake them a little bit. And then we're going to come up to standing and come into this jumping hata aerobic kriya. So you just do your best to keep up with it. If you need to take a break, then you take a break. If you don't want to jump, then you don't have to jump. Yep. So it might be helpful to take socks off so you have more of a grip onto the floor. It's up to you. So we're going to be working in cycles of 8, and we're going to use the mantra hata, which is spelled H-A-R, but the tongue hits the roof of the mouth as though you're rolling your R, so it's hata, almost like you're saying H-U-D. So we'll be chanting it 8 times with each one of the 8 movements, and we're going to move through a series of movements. And every time you chant it, you want to see if you can get your navel center involved, so you'll feel hata, like you're getting your navel to connect to the roof of the mouth. So we're going to start with clapping 8 times overhead with hata. We're going to reach down and hit the floor 8 times with hata. Hata, 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 hata. And then you're going to come up and flap the wings 8 times with hata. Hata, 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 hata. And now this is the first jumping. So you're going to crisscross the arms and crisscross the legs in a jumping motion. Hata, 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 hata. Good. Then we're going to come into a archer pose. So just come forward on one knee, and with each hata, you're going to bend a little bit on that knee. Hata, 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 hata. And you're just going to swivel the feet so that you're looking the other direction. Good. Hata, 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 hata. And then we'll come back to the center and come back to that jumping crisscross. Hata, 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 hata. And then the arms are going to come up, and we're going to do a very slight backward bend. Be gentle in the low back. Hata, 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 hata. Back to crisscross. Hata, 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 hata. Arms come up again, over to the left 4 times. Hata, 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 and to the right. Hata, 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 and we finish back with crisscross. Hata, 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 hata. And we'll do it one more time without the music, and we'll add the music in. So start with clapping. Hata, hata, the floor. Hata, 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 wings. Hata, 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 crisscross. Hata, 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 archer. Hata, 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 other side. Hata, 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 crisscross. Hata, 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 up and back. Hata, 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 crisscross. Hata, 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 up and over 4 times. Hata, 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 crisscross. Hata, 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 hata. So that's the exercise. You ready? The music goes quickly, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Just do your best. If you can't keep up, that's okay. Just do your best. So here we go.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Hata, hata. Hata, 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 hut, 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 that was about 5.5 minutes with the music, so nice job. You could work up to 31 minutes. It's a good goal, but 5 minutes is great. All right, so when you've worked that through a little bit, you can come back to sitting, and we'll come into this Curia. Good. Catch your breath, take some water, let the energy start flowing through. So this first exercise, actually let me read about this. So this Kriya is called self-control through developed sensitivity. It says normally we react to pain and fear by reducing our sensitivity, by becoming numb. This set does the opposite. It awakens our sensitivity and gives us a new sense of self-control and choice. A new sense of self-control and choice. So this first part is kind of one of the funny things that we get to do in Kundalini Yoga. We're going to come into a cow pose, which is on hands and knees. It's a little bit of a sway-backed cow, so the belly is hanging towards the floor and the sit bones are up and the shoulders are up and the chin is up. So that's the basic posture. Now we're going to add in the challenge, which is to clap the hands in front of the heart, trying not to move the rest of the body. Yes. So just do your best. Have fun with it. It does not have to be serious. We're strengthening the nervous system. Trying to keep your body steady. For this last part, now see if you can touch your hands to your heart instead of clapping. Still keeping your body as steady as you can. Just do your best. To the floor, and then relax the sit bones back towards the heels and come into child's pose with the forehead towards the floor, and just take a few deep breaths and relax. Feeling your sensitivity, releasing numbness. Developing self-control and choice. When you're ready, come up to sitting. These next several exercises are a self-massage. It's a very vigorous massage. You'll take the palms of both of your hands and come hitting the lower back. We're going to get up into the kidney point next, so this part is really just the low back. Alternately and musically moving as quickly as you can. Bring your hands into fists and move up and get to that kidney area, right about halfway between the low spine and the bottom of the ribs. Fists hitting into the kidney points. If this is painful or doesn't feel good, go real gentle. Listen to your body. Move quickly, but you don't need to hit hard. We're producing energy. It says doing this 2 minutes every day will keep you always in a good mood. So, wow, that's a great use of 2 minutes if you can stay in a good mood. So you'll get 2 minutes today. To open palms and hitting the tops of the shoulders. And actually calls for both hands at the same time, so not alternating, but both hands at the same time, hitting the tops of the shoulders. Breaking up any numbness, stuck energy there in the shoulders. Awaken and sensitize yourself. Let them relax for a moment and breathe into that part of the body, the shoulders. Are going to come back into fists, and you're going to hit alternating towards the navel, right towards the belly button. It says hit only as hard as you can tolerate. If you need to tighten up your core muscles, do that, and then hitting as hard as you can tolerate, just 1 minute. Stimulating the energy at the navel center. And release that. Relax for a moment. Breathe into the navel. Hands into fists and begin beating the whole chest area. 1 minute. Stimulating the lungs, the heart, the thymus gland, releasing grief, resentment out of the lungs and the heart. Good. Release the hands, breathe into the chest. And last few parts to the Curia. Bring the legs out in front, and with your palms open, begin to hit your knees, beating your knees. Good. And then bring your knees up to your chest and hit the tops of your feet with the open palms. And come back to sitting in easy pose. On this last part, you're going to alternately hit the tops of your hands or the backs of your hands. Release that and just sit for a few breaths and letting all of that integrate. part of the Kriya before we rest is a very active one, and you're going to laugh. You're going to come squatting like a frog, and you're going to jump up and down. So squatting like a frog, your heels can be up off the floor, and your hands are on the floor, and you're going to jump from here. I told you you'd laugh. So if it's hard on your knees or any other part of your body, you don't have to do it. You could rest, or you could just come into frog pose and stay there and let the benefits of that stretch through the hips work. Otherwise, you're on the clock for jumping like a frog. We're adjusting the whole body. Have fun with it. Get the heart rate back up. And come lying down onto your back, and we'll relax and rest. Get comfortable, blanket, pillow, socks, whatever you need. Letting the whole body relax. Let the floor support you.
Namaste.
And inhale the hands up overhead, point the toes and stretch the body. And exhale, curl into a ball and rock yourself side to side. And bring the soles of the feet together in the palms of the hands and rub, waking up. Bring the knees into the chest, tuck the chin, and rock up and down on the spine a few times. Massaging the whole back. And when you're ready, coming up to sitting for this forgiveness meditation. So, there's 3 parts to it. The first part, you'll work on forgiving others. The second part, you'll work on asking for and receiving forgiveness for yourself. And the third part is just connecting to spirit. So you can either beforehand choose one person or a few people that you want to work with, that you've harmed, that you've received harm from, or you can just keep it general. And whoever wants to show up is fine. So you're just going to sit with your hands on your knees and your spine straight, and you can be as comfortable as possible. These first 2 parts we'll do sitting, and the last part we come back down to lying down. So the eyes are closed, and this is a affirmation that you would just repeat silently to yourself. And the first one is, I forgive everyone for everything they have ever done to harm me. I forgive everyone for everything they have ever done to harm me. So then you go inside and just repeat that to yourself silently and let it soak in. Silently to yourself, go within. For a moment and exhale and release. We'll come into the second part. Again, just silently repeating to yourself, I ask for and receive forgiveness for everything I have ever done to harm others. I ask for and receive forgiveness for everything I have ever done to harm others. Go within. and feel yourself receiving forgiveness. Mentally repeating and letting it soaking deep into your body, your cells. Exhale, release, and come lying down onto your back for the final part. And you'll silently, mentally repeat to yourself, I forgive myself. I dwell in love and light. I dwell in spirit. I forgive myself. I dwell in love and light. I dwell in spirit. Silently repeating the mantra, letting it soak deeper and deeper in, even if you don't believe it. As you're ready, slowly come back up to sitting, rolling over onto one side, staying in that place of self-forgiveness, dwelling in spirit, shame and guilt released, anger and resentment dissolved. And bring the hands in front of the heart and rub the palms together. And we'll send this blessing song to ourselves, to anybody else who's working with frozen anger, resentment, guilt, or shame. Bring the thumbs to the heart, elbows wide, shoulders relaxed. Inhale deeply and exhale. And inhale. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you. And the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Sat Nam. Inhale deeply, hold the breath, and draw the energy upward. And exhaling. Sat Nam.